Now, a very important point here we need to understand is this. What we will see is, suppose there is, one neuron which is coming and which is going to enter the, smooth muscle. Now listen, there was neuromuscular junction in skeletal muscle, but listen with all your attention. But in case of smooth muscles, you will not get any, neuromuscular junction like that, but you will get something like this. The nerve endings, wherever they enter the, muscles, they swell like this, okay? They swell like this. And these swellings, each and every swelling is called varicocytes. Varicocytes, okay? Varicocytes. Now listen with all your attention. These are what? These are called gap junctions. Suppose this is, the first muscle, okay? Now listen. When this first muscle gets excited by this particular neuron, what happens is this neuron depolarizes this, muscle. This neuron depolarizes the first muscle. Now, a very important point here we need to understand is this, that depolarization means what? Entry of calcium and all these things we know in case of smooth muscle. Now, a very important point here we need to understand, that means here in this first muscle, the concentration of calcium is high. Now listen, what will happen is, now calcium will actually flow into other cells as well. That means in case of, this type of smooth muscles, if you depolarize a single cell, then all other neighboring cells acts as syncytium, okay? Connected units, syncytium, okay? Now listen, you already know that syncytium also exists in another, muscle, which is cardiac muscle. That means, why I am telling you this, because this type of smooth muscles which have a functional syncytium, they actually behave like cardiac muscle. Smooth muscles which have this type of connections, where these varicocytes are nothing but the swellings which actually contain the, synaptic vesicles. When these varicocytes just enters one of the, cell, they will activate calcium release. And calcium will enter through all other cells. That means these cells are acting like a single unit. They are acting like a single unit, right? Now that's why they are known by the name of single unit smooth muscle. What happens in this case is that every cell receives individual fibers, or it may happen like this. Now listen, what I am trying to convey is this, that this may happen, each of these, cells receive single inputs from different, neurons, or it may happen some collaterals may actually, activate two similar type of cells. This type of, arrangement looks more or less like what? A single neuron activating a single muscle fiber which is occurring in skeletal muscle. Therefore, they act more like skeletal muscle. This type of arrangement is called multi-unit, because there are many units which, contract independently of each other, right? Where you will get some single unit smooth muscle. Now listen, what is the characteristics of this single unit smooth muscle? In a single unit smooth muscle, the action potential or depolarization actually flows, right? Therefore, suppose this part of the area is contracting and this part of the area of your body is not contracting, these parts where contraction and relaxation occur simultaneously but at different levels and at different speed, there single unit smooth muscles are very important. You know where does it occur? Every area of your GI tract. GI tract motion is nothing but the contraction of smooth muscle. That's it. When will our body employ multi-unit smooth muscle? Now listen, every muscle cell is actually getting activated by single neuronal fiber. That means which one will have more precision for contraction? Obviously the multi-unit smooth muscle, because each and every cell is getting their own supply. When our body requires specific contractions for specific unit of time, their body employs multi-unit smooth muscle. Not where do we require these type of muscles? When we require a high grade of contraction for a longer period of time, body employs smooth muscle, multi-unit smooth muscle. You need in your sphincter muscles. Every sphincter muscles of your body have multi-unit smooth muscle. Every sphincter, whether it is lower esophageal sphincter, whether it is pyloric sphincter, or whether it is anal sphincter, or whether it is urinary bladder sphincter. Clear? Now, a very interesting point you need to understand is this, that urinary bladder is actually made up of single unit smooth muscle. Why? Controlled contraction and relaxation waves, right? But their bladders, their sphincter, urinary bladder sphincter is actually made up of multi-unit smooth muscle. That means, suppose this is your bladder, and this opening of the bladder is controlled by what? This is sphincter, is multi-unit smooth muscle, right? But the body of the urinary bladder is made up of single unit smooth muscle. Okay? Am I clear to everyone? Your eye muscles, which controls the diameter of your pupils, requires precision in muscle movements. Therefore, eye muscles are also multi-unit smooth muscle. Clear? Where they require precision in movements.